right. Let's get this started. I did the thing. Here we go. It's over here, and let's make sure we do that. And hello there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and uh, today is June 13th,
Squirrel.
2024. We're going to write a little bit of code today, and I'm dressed as a squirrel. I'm not going to keep the headpiece on the whole time. I'm going to have to take this off a little bit because it is hard to see. It is hard to hear. Hi, friends. I'm making good on one of our challenges, on one of our Flash donations that we had a few weeks ago for St. Jude. I've been in and out. I haven't been able to be here the whole time. So I'm making good on that today. How you doing there, friends? Let me say hello to the chat room. They're right over here. Hello. Napalm Codes, hello, good morning. Jeff's hat stand is here. This isn't a hat. Sorry. C Sharp Titan, good to see you there. I hope you're having a good evening in Australia. You were hoping to watch the Twitch pre-recording from the other day. I did remove it. Yes. We had an issue, and I was forced to remove it. So sorry about that. Yes, the squirrel is in play. We raised. There was a challenge to raise $200 in a quick morning on stream, and chat came through and donated $200 to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and now I'm a squirrel. So there we go. Yes. How you doing there, Alu the Crow? Is it warm inside? Yes, it is. I've got fans on me here to keep me cool here. It is definitely a choice, Napalm. Absolutely. So we're going to talk about Factor here today. We're going to work on TagzApp again. We're going to do some Aspire shenanigans. It's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wear this the whole time. I can't. I just can't. It's not going to work with the headset. I'm not going to be able to hear things. So I'll switch headpieces here back and forth throughout the stream, and we will absolutely have some fun coding and talking and going a little nuts. Huh? No. So let me switch this off real quick. Oh man. There we go. We'll stick with this for a little bit. So, does TagzApp have an API that we can tap into?
Squirrel.
Kind of. And this hat I know is not in the collection list. So this hat actually is Velcro. There's Velcro underneath this. You can swap out the patches on this. Look at that. So, yeah, look, I'm trying to stick it back on straight in the mirror that is the cameras there. There we go. So, it does kind of have an API, but there's stuff there that we need to tune, tweak, improve. We need to get it into Aspire. Now that Aspire is released, and looking at the challenges that folks have had in building and tweaking and developing with TagzApp, we can absolutely go back and clean some of that up by putting TagzApp into .NET Aspire, wrap it with the frameworks and tools there so that it does start with Postgres, so that we can move the hosting process over to a separate API, so that we can start doing some more distributed processing and making it easier and setting up a little bit of that API processing to collect and share messages easily back and forth. So, have I updated to 17.11 preview 2? I think I did. I haven't had any issues with 17.11 yet. Look at that. TagzApp isn't even on my top list of applications that I've been working on here in Visual Studio. Let me get that open. This is the last day that I'm running this Factor promotion. Factor is a meal delivery service that I've been using for the past more than a month, 5-6 weeks, that will send you prepackaged gourmet food. Easy to make, 2 minutes in the microwave, or you can, some of that stuff you can put in the oven. I've gotten chicken wings from them. I've gotten steaks. I've gotten gluten-free pasta. All the food is gluten-free. It's all fresh. It's all approved by a dietitian. They've got a fantastic menu out there, and they saw that I was buying and using their service. They offered to sponsor the stream, so I've really been enjoying that, and happy to share their information with you on stream here today. We'll take a look at their menu in about a half hour or so and talk a little bit about it. And I'm even going to grab some lunch and share one of the factor meals with you while we're writing some code here. So let me just take a quick peek at what version of Visual Studio I have here. No, I have the Preview 1.1 installed right now. I can do that update while we're chatting and getting things started here. Checking for updates. It's taking its good old time checking for updates. I'll tell you what. Close some of these extra windows here that I don't need for today's stream. Like, yeah, don't need that one. Don't know what that one was, but we'll close that. There we go. So, yeah, what the heck? There it goes. Go ahead, do the update. I didn't have any issues with the 1711 Preview 1.1. So, but we'll put Preview 2 down right now while we're getting things started. Let me also get some music playing in the background. I'm going to go with the EDM playlist today. I've been doing the synthwave playlist. Let me go back over to EDM. It isn't sorting for me. Yeah, there it goes. Let's start somewhere down here. This is called Vortex Velocity. This is music that's DMCA free. It's royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Check it out at streambeats.com. There's all kinds of genres there, playlists available. Really happy to listen to it and enjoy it in the background while we have some fun writing code and having a good time today. So, let's see. There we go. I don't remember hearing this song before. I'm enjoying it. Nice. So that's downloading and installing the new Visual Studio. I've been doing a lot more with Aspire recently. I've been writing some samples. In fact, this week's Blazor puzzle that you're going to see released tomorrow has in a demo that I wrote to run on Aspire featured. It's not, we're not going to show it running in with Aspire. We're going to show just the Blazor application and ask for you to complete a feature as part of that Blazor puzzle. So Blazor Puzzle, of course, is a podcast that I record with Carl Franklin. Check it out at blazorpuzzle.com. I should probably link that somewhere in the area below on the about wall here. I'm enjoying a little bit of coffee there. Hey, thank you for the resub. 23 months.
I just resubscribed for 23 months.
Yeah, there we go. Much appreciate. Thank you so much for 23 months, almost 2 years with us. Bless, I appreciate it, and I'll make a donation to a tech charity. I've been in and out, a little bit sick, busy with a couple other things. We'll get that identified charity for the second half of the year here. So, I've been doing, like I said, we've got the Blazor puzzle coming up tomorrow, showing off a demo that really works nicely in .NET Aspire. But as I was going through and working on that, and I've been working on it with our friends John Galloway and James Montemagno, this new Aspire demo, we're going to show that off during a Let's Learn Aspire event coming up. We're we're trying to build demos that show off how to use Aspire, and in particular, make it very clear the Aspire benefits, how that makes it easier for you to be a developer working locally. And as I was going through and doing more and more of this development, it was like, man, I got to get back to TagzApp and do exactly this to TagzApp, because all the things that we're trying to address would benefit TagzApp significantly. C# Titan says, left their job today. Oh my goodness. Company went to Java and Spring Boot and ditched .NET because the development manager used Java at his last company. You'd spent 6 months developing a Blazor website that now has to be rewritten using Spring Boot and Java. Wow. How many other folks are walking out the door as well? That feels like a major waste of money by that development manager. Like, when you look at decisions to migrate technologies, migrate databases, choose a different vendor, there's pros and cons to all of them. The pros, hopefully, are it's going to make us more money. We're going to be more productive. But there's always a con that goes with it. And you have to evaluate and you have to accept what those cons are. And rewriting an application that took you 6 months to build. How many people were on the team, C# Titan? How many people were on your product team that were working on that project? Because it's going to take at least 6 months. So you've now at least doubled the cost of that project. At a minimum, you've doubled the cost. Does the team actually have Java and Spring Boot expertise? My guess is the answer is no. You had 5 developers, and a few are thinking of leaving. So now you're also... So 5 developers, 6 months. Let's assume that there's an average salary, just to make a round number out there, of $100,000. You've spent $250,000 so far building this project. Roughly. It's going to cost you another $250,000 to ditch what you've started and rewrite the whole thing in Spring Boot. Plus, you're going to have turnover of staff in there. And hiring staff is going to cost you at least 10% of their salary in lost project time, because now what took you, right, 5 developers, 6 months, what took you 30 developer months, you've only got 4 developers. It's going to take you 7.5 months. If another developer leaves, now you're down to 3. It's going to take you 10 months. Are you sure? You sure that was the right thing to do? If you go and hire contractors to backfill there, those contractors aren't going to come in at the same price as your current staff. You're going to have to pay them more. And they're now on the emergency project. They're going to ask for more because they know they got you where they want you. It could be a horror movie. You're right, Vile. You're right. So these things are going to add up and compound the problem. What was a $250,000 project that, how far along were you? Were you almost done? Were you going to be shipping in the next few months? What was a $250,000 project that you were going to be done with another $50,000 is now going to cost you at least another $250,000 to $300,000. Probably significantly more. Is the business okay with not having that project done until at least 2025 with completely different staff and doubling the budget? Like, was the project going that badly that they're okay with doubling the budget? All things to consider, and as a management decision for folks who in the C-suite, the CEO, the CTO, they probably don't care what technology it was written in. They just want it done. Thank you, Ron. Hey, Jeremy Knight.
Jeremy Knight _me just resubscribed for 53 months. Keep up the great content.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. And I'll make a donation to a tech charity. I still need to identify. All of our subscriptions, our cheers will be donated to a tech charity. These are Audio Technica BPH 1. Hey, TBS Pop.
Pop just resubscribed for 36 months.
36 months, 3 years with us. Thank you so much. And I'll make another donation. So, these are the types of decisions that you have to make when you're managing a project team. I got to get the project done. You were only in phase 1 of how many phases? Of how many phases? You had APIs built, but then what? Yeah, that manager may not last very long at all. And that's probably not the only .NET project you had, right? Mm-hmm. 1 of 4. Oh my gosh. Okay, spitballing. Just working some magic numbers out there. Let's let's have some fun with this. I'm going to open Notepad. So we can put some numbers behind this and what kind of decision this was. These are the types of discussions that it's good for us as developers to understand, okay? 5 developers, 6 months, and let's say the average developer salary is $100,000. $100,000, you say you're from Australia, Australian dollars, what have you. That means that they've spent, right, a full year would be $500,000, so half a year. They've spent $250,000 on the project so far. And they want to change to Spring Boot and Java. And don't get me wrong, Spring Boot and Java are fine technologies. But these are the decisions that folks make when they want to change stacks. But this is only phase 1 of 4. That means the budget for the project was $1 million. Roughly. It's $1 million project. They got $250,000 into this. Thank you so much for the follow. They got $250,000 into this and said, let's rewrite the whole thing. Let's go back and rewrite. And in doing that, right, they're throwing out the first $250K. They've already lost 1 developer, right? So, right, this also means, right, this was 30 developer months to accomplish. They've already lost 1 developer. That means they have 4 developers left. But here's the thing, they're 4 .NET developers. This hat isn't in the thing. So you've now got to either hire or retrain. What are you going to do with those 4 .NET developers? I think you were right. The writing's on the wall. I think they're going to fire the other 4. Which means there's going to be at least a month delay to hire new people. Right? You're not going to be able to hire somebody overnight and they just appear the next day and boom, they're in working. So, while this was phase 1 of 4, you were probably looking at a January 2026 go live date. Let's call it completion date. And I'm just throwing numbers out there based on what you've shared about this. Yeah, changing platforms is not like just swapping things out. So you're going to have at least a month of tools down. You're probably going to have at least a month of redesign in the new tech. Because you're not going to just pick up, look at what's already there, and say, okay, let's get started. You're going to have at least a month of redesign. Your new developers are not going to come in at the same price. Because now they're on emergency. Okay? So, right now, starting over, the earliest, right, starting here from June 2024, the earliest that folks are going to start coding is August, let's say September. Right? Add 2 years from there, you're looking at September 2026. And it's going to cost you at least, where the initial budget was $1 million, you're already in on $250K. You're going to have to pay folks for those 2 or 3 months that they're changing over. So you've got 3 times 5 developers, right? So that's 15 developer months. Which is basically another 100 and let's call it 130K. Because 12 developer months is a year, and a year of developer salary we're saying is $100,000. So you're already in at roughly 280K with no code written. Assuming you're getting folks at the same salary, you're not. And then you've got another $1 million after that. So are your folks okay with roughly a $1.3 million budget and 8-month delay? Good luck. Good luck. It was important for me to talk through this thought exercise around the project that C# Titan has there and what they're looking at. Because when we as developers look at our projects and we think about, hey, I don't want to use this tool. I want to use that tool instead. What's the opportunity cost of changing to a different tool? Does the rest of the team understand that tool? Hey, I'd like to upgrade from ASP.NET Core Razor Pages to, it doesn't know this, to Blazor. Okay, do folks know Blazor? Can we take 2 weeks and 2-3 weeks and get up to speed on that and be as productive? My answer to that is I believe so. We've put together good training material that can help you get there and have that changeover time be quicker. And certainly if your folks have been learning Blazor on the side as they've been completing a previous project, taking Fridays to learn a new technology, that helps. And that's one of the reasons why you invest in developer education. So that this doesn't happen. Because that's expensive to take time to learn a new technology and redesign the new technology. If you can minimize that by investing in your developer education, it works out for you in the end. Java is not much different from C#. Shouldn't be difficult to convert? No. No. It's going to be. It's going to be. They're telling you that. It's going to be difficult to convert. Oh
my.
Yeah. Because ASP.NET Core and Spring Boot are different. So, these are the things that when we present ideas to shift to new languages, new technologies, new tools, we need to understand and appreciate. All right? So, thank you very much for sharing the information. Good luck to your former employer, and I hope you pick up a new gig, a new job. Quickly. I hope that works out for you. So, all right, let me take a look around here. Good, we're good. All right. I'm gonna just wipe that so I can still have my notepad available over here. There we go. Visual Studio install completed. Bit frustrated? Yeah, I bet. Oh, I bet. So, before I dive into the code, I'll just take some time and talk about Factor now, and then we'll get into this. Do I know companies using F# in Europe? Asks Blisseye. No, I don't off the top of my head. I don't keep track of who's hiring. That's not something I do. But there are a lot of folks in Europe that do use F#. So, the folks at Factor are graciously sponsoring today's stream. They're helping cover some of the costs for things that are running out there, like Aspirify and whatnot. They've got these really great menus. They're all gluten-free, and I have to have a gluten-free menu. I have celiac disease. So there's great stuff out here that you can get. They have an offer for you. Check it out with the command !Factor in Twitch chat. There'll be a chat message that pops up every now and again. If you're on YouTube, you'll see it come through. If you follow through and you want to check this out, you can, let me see, where's the link? It should have popped up there a couple times already, but I don't see it. I don't see the bot. It was there. Let me double check that it's running. But the bot will come through and tell you. Yes. Give you a link to coupon code so that you can get 50% off a box that you order from Factor. The food's really good. It's inexpensive. There's the Factor command. Yeah, thank you so much, Surly Dev, Ed McNetz. The timer should have been coming through as well. And I'm just going to double check on the timer there. Yeah, it's turned on. It should be coming through every 15 minutes. So, anyways, really good stuff that's available. I had, what was it I had the other day after I got done? I think I had one of the pork chop meals the other day. But I've had that they'll deliver steak to you. Great stuff. And there's keto friendly menus. There's calorie smart menus. Mrs. C Sharp Fritz and I have been getting that so that we can get meals that are filling, but also don't have a lot of calories. So, but they'll deliver seafood, right? Barramundi, shrimp, filet. So let me go to that page with the sign up. So if you use the code, there it goes. You see 50% off. So 8 meals, even if you pay the full 103, 8 meals for a couple is 4 nights out. Are you going out and taking your partner to dinner, going out with friends, and getting your meal for less than $30? Great stuff. Have I had the steak? Yes, I have, Low Viz. We had the steak a couple weeks ago. The potatoes were firm. They weren't mushy like you might find. They weren't extra tough or crunchy, but they were nice and firm like baked potato slices. The vegetables are always firm and full of taste. They're not like they were boiled or made one of those vegetables in a box frozen things that you get at the grocery store. The beans, the green beans, still have a bit of snap to them. They have flavor. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. So the cauliflower rice, there you go, cauliflower rice, really good. So they give you a cauliflower rice instead of regular rice, so it's keto friendly. You're not taking the greens. The jalapenos are still good and spicy and fantastic to enjoy. So the jalapeno lime cheddar chicken, I had that one yesterday after stream. Really enjoy that. And I had the pork chop after stream on Tuesday. So we'll have one of these on stream here later today. We'll take a break and go grab one of them to enjoy. Greek style beef, and this is right? I love seeing the. It says cavatelli. That's not cavatelli. That's macaroni. No, I'm sorry, cavatappi. Maybe it is. I'm not familiar with cavatappi. That's been pretty good. I haven't tried the Indian butter tofu. I'm not a fan of tofu. I haven't been getting the vegetarian boxes or the vegan boxes. The add-on options down here for breakfast, they're pretty good too. Haven't tried it, but they're really good. Let me show you some of the other add-ons. The egg bites, we have had that. We have had some of these smoothies. Have the apple kale wheatgrass? That's not my cup of tea. I tried one but the mango was really good. We like that. So, breakfast sausage links. Hey, that's great. And then you can make whatever eggs, however you'd like, along with it. And that's the thing that I've enjoyed about this is I've been doing the factor meals and having something to augment and make it kind of work out nicely. Kind of make it a complete meal, or to kind of finish things off, or having one of these meals for at dinner time and maybe a sandwich at lunchtime, something a little bit lighter. It's been really good. The sodium is nuts. So I haven't run into that. I haven't seen that at all. Because they're not frozen. They're packaged fresh. So, and I have done it's not the truffle bars. There was like a peanut butter bar that they made available. That was gluten-free, right? So it wasn't the double chocolate or chocolate chip, but they're gluten-free, these snack bars and cookies that they've made available. We got those, and to spread them out and to have them after dinner as a little bit of a dessert was pretty good. So, they've sent the whey protein. It's not my cup of tea. I haven't been trying that. I haven't gotten a shaker bottle. We've had the mac and cheese. That was really good. There it is, the chicken wings. These were really good. They're not greasy. I made them in the air fryer. So I think it was like 6 minutes in the air fryer. And then I had a different spice sauces to go with it. The barbecue sauce that it comes with is nice, but I had Frank's Red Hot, the typical buffalo sauce you hear folks use with chicken wings, and put together just a cup of that to dip it in. I could have smothered them in it, but there's something about dipping wings in hot sauce that's just easier to do and a little bit friendly. A little bit more friendly to have choice to share with friends, so you're not forcing everybody to have the same flavor. So that was really cool to have. You can't make them in the microwave. You've either got to put them in the oven. The air fryer was quick and easy to do. We enjoyed that. So lots of great options there. Like I said, it's 50% off if you use the coupon code that they've shared with us. They don't. They don't. No, McNets. I know we have a number of folks from Europe, from Africa, from Australia watching. This is strictly a lower 48 United States. So if you go to a Bald Bearded Builder's house to eat wings or barbecue, you're having his sauce and it's non-negotiable. All right. I'm game. I'm game to try the Bald Bearded sauce. Absolutely. So great stuff. I have a box that gets delivered every Sunday. So Sunday morning, wake up, have breakfast, go to church and whatever, and come back and there's a box of food waiting at the front porch. Everything's recyclable. Cardboard boxes, cardboard packing. It's an eco-friendly fluid that they put inside the ice pack. So I pour it out in the garden and recycle the plastic bags that it comes in. BBB sauce, yeah. Air fryer is fantastic to cook with. These are all great in the microwave, but the amount of things that I do in the air fryer now, I love doing chicken wings in the air fryer. Love doing French fries. We've done. Gosh, what were some of the other things that she's done? We've done fish in the air fryer. She's done with the daughter's done frozen chicken nuggets in there. So fantastic options that you can do with that, and being able to cook some of their food in the air fryer is pretty good too. The flavors that they have that come with these, they're thinking outside the box. They're not just giving you, well, here's the chicken and the chicken and the roasted corn salsa, and off you go. There's this cilantro lime cream. I talked about this last time. It's really good to spread on there and mix in so that you get a richer, bolder taste. So, great stuff. You reheat pizza in your air fryer? I haven't tried that. So they've got a complete list of ingredients and allergens for every meal, so that as you go through and choose, here's the food we're interested in, you know what you're getting. If you're like me and you have concerns with gluten, with wheat, you're going to be able to properly avoid things. But all of their food is gluten free, so I don't have to look at this at all. So I want you to check it out. I've really enjoyed. I've enjoyed the Factor meals, and I'm going to continue ordering them myself. If you place an order using the code, there you see there's a little widget there in the corner. If you place an order with it, you're going to get 50% off on your first box, 20% off the next 4 boxes they send you, the next 4 weeks, each of the next 4 weeks. Okay, it's not 20% up front and that's it. No, each week for the next 4 weeks, you're going to get 20% off. Check it out. Use the link !Factor in the chat room, and enjoy it like I have been. I think you're going to really enjoy it. You're going to like the Factor meals, and you might even lose a little bit of weight like I have. So, big thanks to Factor for supporting today's stream. All right, let me get back over here and let's talk about TagzApp again and get into this. I used this stack at my own company. I'm in charge here, so we'll use it here. I ran into that with a former employer that was setting things up to be installed in Azure and had everything all ready to go. Leadership changed over. Oh, we need to put everything on AWS because that's where other tech companies put stuff. And they undid all of their Azure contracts. They rebuilt things to use the AWS services. They lost 2 or 3 months. And that company was a very, very time relevant company. They make education software for schools. So they ran for 3 months just getting things turned over from Azure to AWS so they could deploy it to AWS. And in working with schools, there are hard and fast deadlines where you can't change things. You can't change features. So to make a decision to change things over when you need to have that done and deployed by July so they can do their training in August for the school year starting at the end of August, September. Really? Really? That's high risk. Yeah, bandwagon jumpers. That's exactly what they were doing, PC nerd. Your ex taught you about making pizza in the air fryer. You'll order a pizza from Domino's, spread it out over a couple meals, and just reheat in the air fryer. How long do you put it in the air fryer for? Welcome to Food Chat. I'm your host, Fritz. And we're doing some squirrel. Yes. 3:30 for 5 minutes. Nice. Hey, Tookie. Hello. Hello. Let me turn up. I might be able to do this.
Squirrel.
That's right. You better believe it. We got the squirrel on because we raised money for St. Jude. And the things I'll do for sick kids, the things I'll do so that we can raise money and do good things for charity. Absolutely. You don't get why companies have a gripe with Microsoft and their tools. It comes from several places. There is a older. Let's go back to so you can see me. Hello. There is an older roster of tech folks that believes Microsoft is trying to trick you, is trying to couple you to their technologies and operating systems and whatnot. Here's the thing. .NET's been running on Linux for the last 10 years now. I'm going to say that again. .NET runs on Linux for the last 10 years. Not only does .NET run on Linux, it runs so well on Linux. We had a conversation with a customer, and I can share, I'm not going to share who the customer is, but we had a conversation, and the comment from them was, wow, I didn't know .NET ran so well on Windows. What? It's been 10 years that .NET runs on Linux and in containers. Think about that. We're quickly coming up on 25 years of .NET, okay? .NET's going to be 25 years next year. That means we're almost at the pivot point in 2 or 3 years where .NET is going to run on Linux longer than it ran only on Windows. Think about that, okay? .NET runs everywhere. Windows, Mac, and Linux. It runs on everybody's cloud. I know it does accentuate how old we are. It does. So, you're hearing this from a squirrel, but trust me when I tell you, there is no coupling here. We want you to be successful. So these are things that folks don't hear. They don't want to listen to. They don't understand that the top sponsor of the Linux Foundation, the top sponsorship level of the Linux Foundation, includes Microsoft. One of the top sponsors of the Cloud Native Foundation is Microsoft. One of the top sponsors of the JavaScript Foundation is Microsoft. A squirrel would not lie to you. Right? Woo! So, look. Folks think, and 20, 25 years ago, there was a different strategy. Folks wanted to say, yes, you need to use Windows for all the things. You must pay for all the things from Microsoft. All of the tools to build on Windows are free and open source. All of the tools to build with .NET are free and open source. Check it out. Look at it. Watch and see how the team is contributing. Yes, absolutely. We're Squirrel. The top sponsor of the Bald Bearded Builder Foundation is Microsoft. That just happened recently, didn't it? So, look. Yeah, sorry, it doesn't know this hat. It's a squirrel costume. So, look. These folks are looking at times and technologies from 20, 30 years ago. Staff that have been gone from Microsoft for 15 years. Decisions that they made. Folks have learned and moved on, and they're doing better things with the community in mind. Apple's using ChatGPT to run their AI features in the new iOS and Apple OS, Mac OS. Like, that's something that Microsoft has been sponsoring and using for a long time. And ChatGPT runs on Azure. OpenAI runs their stuff on Azure, right? Apple has said they're running stuff on Azure. Like, other folks that you trust and use build and run stuff on Azure. You can't see my face, so I'm going to need to tilt back a little bit here, I think. right? So why not? Why not? Can you build .NET MAUI Can you build .NET MAUI apps on Linux? Yes, you can build .NET MAUI apps. I've done it. I've done it at conference presentations. I've done it once or twice here on stream. You can build Android apps with .NET MAUI on Linux, and you can't build. You can write the code for a Windows and Mac app on Linux, but you won't be able to compile and deploy it because both of those operating systems have requirements that you build and deploy with their tools. So, but the MAUI extension stuff on Visual Studio Code is available. You remember paying for Visual Studio? Now there's a community edition for free. Yep. And you can use Visual Studio Code. So, like, that's all good things. Uno platform works for building and logging content on Windows, Mac, Linux. Yeah. Have I tried to re-sign all off previous comments? What? I don't know what you're saying. What? Have I tried to re-sign all off previous commits? I don't know what you're asking. I'm sorry. Apple developer YouTube have videos that use VS Code. Yeah. Some squirrels use Vim with .NET. Yep. You bought a license for Visual Studio 2019 and 2022, so I didn't have to worry about staying legit. Yeah. Look, if you buy a license for Visual Studio, you also get Azure credits. If you were to just pay for the Azure credits, it pays off. It works out. So, what link? How Uno can be used in production plants. It's controlling and gathering info. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, that's very cool, McNets. Right? There you go. That's pretty cool. Right? That's a .NET app built in controlling a machine. Very cool. Love seeing that type of innovation there. That's awesome stuff. That is awesome. Those credits are not to be used for production use cases. Everybody does. Everybody does. There's nothing that prevents that. Is it squirrel approved? I think so. Yeah. Really cool stuff. I love seeing the innovation. I love seeing the way that folks are taking the technology, the platform, and using it in different places. So there's no way that they can enforce that something's being used for production or for some other thing. They just can't. And quite frankly, they want you to. One second. Need to respond to something. There we go. All right. So there's a handful of things to do here that I'd like to take a look at, integrate some of these things. I think there's a couple of additional features based on our live streams that we've had with the Visual Studio and .NET channels on Wednesdays that I'd like to add into here as well. That will improve TagzApp and start getting us back building and adding features to this, because we're less than 6 months from .NET Conf, And we're going to be using TagzApp for .NET Conf. So, is it possible to run Linux desktop in a Docker container? I don't think so. Dead Robot Dev, how you doing there? Says, as someone who has a fair bit of .NET experience, built a few apps at work, and now I want to learn it deeper, are there resources you'd recommend? I appreciate the answers. Probably read the documentation. No. What do you mean by deeper? Help me out with what that means. Are there C# techniques you're looking for? Is there framework components and things you want to learn how to work with? Help me out there, Dead Robot Dev. I want to make sure I understand how you're framing learning a little bit deeper how to do some of these things. And yes, I realize you're asking a squirrel this. It's true. That's a thing.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
Okay. Learn modules are good. We're working on more advanced topics for those. It's coming. Just going to take some time to isolate, identify, and build those. So, hey, Apollo. Hello. Good to see you. So, I want to take TagzApp and do it. Is there an Aspire? Yeah, here we go. I'm going to take this and do this one right now. So we're going to put a Redis cache in there. We're going to put a Postgres. We'll see about Service Bus. We'll see about that one. Container-based service that listens to the social media providers. Yeah, definitely the website. So I'm going to assign myself. The milestones are all completely lost at this point. Need to completely reevaluate and come back and look at that. But I think we should do this one right now. So we've been having fun building and doing things with .NET Aspire. So let's go back over here and TagzApp. So let's take a look. Yeah, let's create a branch to work in here. I'll call this feature Aspire. There we go. So, all right. Yep, create a feature branch out on my private. There's a great book called Learn PowerShell in a Month of Lunches. That's cool. Okay. User EXP asks, is ClipTalk complete? No, ClipTalk is no more. ClipTalk was starting to cost me several $100s a month to run, and quite frankly, it was a cost that for the traffic that was visiting the site was unsustainable for me. And then Twitch released the exact same features as ClipTalk had embedded in the platform, which made ClipTalk then irrelevant. So if I'm spending $500-600 a month to run a service that nobody needs because the feature is integrated with the platform, so it is no more. All right, let's start up Visual Studio here for TagzApp. So there's a source folder here, and we look. Here's how much we tried to make this easier for folks to build with. We wrote Docker Compose files out here to try and make it easy for folks to build and start up and use this, and it was still clumsy to work with. So I'm going to put Aspire app host and service defaults in here so that we get the ability to start and run this with a Postgres database running nicely, all connected up, working easily, and hopefully making it a heck of a lot easier for folks to be able to contribute and see how to work with TagzApp. It's also going to give us the rich logging on the Aspire dashboard so that we can go through and see exactly what's going on. And I want to spend some time with OpenTelemetry and learn more about it so that we can create appropriate telemetry log entries for when we receive new messages from each of our platforms. Have I re-signed all my previous Git commits? No, I haven't. Quite frankly, signing my Git commits, I find annoying and difficult to do. I have a, what's it called? It's right here. There it is. I have a YubiKey, right? There it is. However, this failed. The flash chip on it failed. Like after 6 months, stopped working, lost my keys that are on it, and consequently I couldn't sign anymore, and it became so much more difficult for me to use. And I'm like, well, that's not reliable for me to use. Like, I like the promise of YubiKey, however, it's not in my experience, this device was not reliable. And this is just the old YubiKey USB-A. The configuration of this was really, really hard to do. It took me hours to set up. And quite frankly, wasn't worth it. Just wasn't worth it for me. It's been 3-4 years since I've tried YubiKey. I'd be happy to try it again if there's improvements there to talk about. But it's not something that I need. Yes, exactly. That's what it should scare you about the YubiKey. The flash media that this runs on can fail, and it does. This stuff does fail. The SD chips that I was running my Raspberry Pi Tower on, they've all failed at least twice, some of them 3 times, because of how much they were reading and writing to those chips. Those chips aren't designed to be read and written to like a SD, like an SSD. It's not the same. So they fail frequently. Now those SD chips are $5-10 a piece. Fine, they're cheap and easy to replace. But when you have to rebuild them every couple weeks, that's a pain in the neck. So, GPG's not bad. No, GPG isn't bad. GPG 4Win and the connections and all that stuff to get it in and working with Git and using the YubiKey was so confusing, and the documentation was disjointed and really hard to configure and get situated properly for my comfort level. And quite frankly, I'm doing stuff live on a stream here. I can't be fiddling with my signing of committing and shipping code. I can't. So, all right. So let's start up TagzApp solution, and let's start putting this into .NET Aspire. So I'm gonna let another program manager from the team know that that this is what we're working on. There it is. And we'll see if they stop by. Here we go. All right. Ooh, look at that. Visual Studio has been updated. Hey, that's nice. Look at all the cool things. AI generated breakpoint expressions. More meaningful code reviews. I don't. Okay. Easier to fix async exceptions. This is nice because they're making it a little bit easier to work with the async methods. Pull requests using drafts and templates. Oh, I don't like. I'm an old school guy. I like doing this at the command line, so I'm not a fan of that. Find the code you're looking for. Control T works just fine for me. I don't know. We'll see how that helps. Expressive IEnumerable visualizer. Okay, we'll have to see what that is. Profile external code with ease. Familiar keyboard shortcuts. Okay. Profile faster and more consistently. So I'm learning about some of these things right now myself. WinUI template prioritization. I don't know what does that mean. With a better template experience? Okay. Dynamic web API routes. Yeah, that's kind of cool. The Endpoints Explorer has been updated. Yep. Keep Visual Studio updated. Yeah, they're adding it to Microsoft updates. So it'll automatically update for you in the background. No idea, Johan. Microsoft doesn't require any kind of keyring or commit signing for on the dev teams. They do. I can't talk too much about the signing requirements, but for more sensitive products, there are higher security requirements about how you write code. And I can't talk about those, but there are security requirements for those that are in play. There are special machine configurations that you need. There's special ways to sign in and use source control. And there are other security enhancements in play that they use. So can't speak too much about it, but yes, that is a thing. All right. I see the clips going up on Twitter. Thank you. Let's take a look here and let's start seeing what we can do to get this. This solution contains packages with vulnerabilities. Yeah? Show me. Prove it. Help me out there. 54 updates. That's a lot. Not gonna lie, that's a lot. Okay. Where are the vulnerable ones? I don't see anything marked vulnerable. Right, we did all this work to put open telemetry in here, and I'm about to rip it out and use the stuff that's with Aspire. So I don't think signing is necessary for most people. No, I don't think signing is necessary for most people. No. I don't see anything in here that is... Yeah. Let's do some updates, right? Let's do a straight update across the board and see what happens. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That. Yeah. All right. I'm totally understanding what's going on here.
What'd you do?
I updated NuGet packages. Yeah. Does the vulnerable one not have an update? Like, what's going on? Here we go. And it's like it's analyzing, and there we go. Cool. Okay. So does it build? I don't know. Does it though? Ah, there you go. All right, build the solution. Show me. And then we're waiting. Yeah, there is a checkbox there. I ignored it, and I was just like, Just do it. There's 50 some of these. Just do it. So, and we're waiting. No. Taking its good old time here. Watching the little ticker there go across. Come on. Get there. Look at all that building there. Ooh, web project failed. Error. Type or namespace name. Type or namespace name could not be found. Blah, blah, blah. I bet you that's somewhere higher in the stack. Yeah. There's stuff higher in the stack that didn't build. All right. There. Like that one. So the blue sky provider changed on us. So the commit is a string. Okay. So if I just change that like that. Right. If I do that, does that fix that? So building blue sky. Yeah. Okay, that worked. So let's go back over to the web project and see what's going on with that one. There it is. Oh, I was telling it to build the web project. Hang on, let's get rid of that one. I think we're far enough removed from that. I could say remove web. Yeah. But go ahead and build Blazor. It says ready, but did it? Yeah, it didn't do anything. There we go. If you remove your key or it's been stolen or compromised, yep. Looks good. Next step. Let's start bringing in the Aspire frameworks and tools. So let's solution items. Do I put it in solution items? Or let's create a new folder up here because there's so many of them. It's just ridiculous. For the Aspire stuff, right? And I'm going to add a new project here that'll be the app host, right? Not the starter application. No, not that one. There it is. .NET Aspire app host. This one. And I'll call this TagzApp app host. And this is what's going to orchestrate and coordinate the entire system. The hat looks pretty comfortable. It's bulky, not going to lie. You're surprised the headphones stay on? So I've crunched down the stuffing in that area. What have you tuned into? Yes, it is. It is I. It is Fritz. And I am a squirrel, thanks to the generous folks in our Twitch community donating to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I've still got more crazy chaotic streams that we're going to do over the next few weeks. Yes, you paid me to do this. Kind of. There's more that we're going to be doing. We have a couple guests that we're inviting to join us. It's going to be a blast. I hope you tune in and join us. I'm only going to add the Blazor app. I think the rest of this stuff, this is the only real application here. So I'll get that added. Which means, right? TagzApp web equals builder. It's not add project. No, it's just builder add project. Projects, TagzApp Laser. And I'll call this just web. Right? Now, oh my goodness. Copilot! What are you doing there?
Inconceivable!
I know. That's not right. Okay. That should get us, just that should get us TagzApp running inside the dashboard. But darn it, I want more. So I'm going to add the service defaults in here so that we can start doing the open telemetry with that. And get the redundancy and other things built in. For when your local is local to your local. Totally. So we'll call this TagzApp service defaults. And we'll extend and tune this appropriately for the application. But then I'm going to go back into Blazor over here and I'm going to add a project reference for service defaults. There it is right there. And inside here, right, look at all that great stuff to get us started. Yeah. Start website. Yep, that's our entry point. Create the builder, create the configuration after it even before configuration. Let's put it in here. Hey, how you doing there? Is it Petershik? Hello? Let's do builder add service defaults. Configure the Aspire provided service defaults, and then we'll go and start rolling back some of the open telemetry bits that we added in here. Yeah, there it is. Right? See that? Napalm did so much great work in here. We can pull this back now. And add some yeah. We can dial this back and start using the Aspire provided capabilities here. So I'm just gonna comment this out for right now and put a note in here to using the Aspire service defaults, because there's great configuration in there that we can pick up and use to start. Yeah, real cool suggestion. Hey, Mom, look at that. Mom's here. No need to call the doctor or pest inspector. I'm dressed as a squirrel thanks to a very generous set of donations to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital last month. So, great to see you, Mom. There's Mom. Mom's there in the chat. You know, Mom. This specimen needs to be studied. I see what you've done there. For when my local is local to the local. So you've been working in a few different areas: MAUI, ASP.NET, Web API, CLI. When it comes to working with legacy code, where there are many hand styles that have touched it, evaluating options, you often go into the throwing this stuff at the wall and see if it sticks stage. Transition from just making to understanding. Take a look at some of the ASP.NET community stand-ups where they featuring folks like Stephen Tobe. Take a look at Scott Hanselman's video series with Stephen Tobe. where they've been diving deeper into how Link works. There's some really good content there. And it's not just been Link; it's also been in some other performance optimization discussions. There's some really good stuff there. So now the Penn State Squirrels have taken over Twitch. That's right, Kinslayer. So look at that. Mom saying hello, and look, Mom using the emotes, right? Not everybody's mom knows how to use emotes on the phone. But look at that. Mom's got all the emotes right there at her fingertips, so she can use all the things. Those videos make your eyeballs spin. They're deep. Not gonna lie, they're deep in there. Totally. So let me see. I'm not gonna start this. Sure, go ahead, start. Let's, because the next piece we're gonna have to do is wire up Postgres automatically here. Please what? Yeah, thank you for the link there. Yep. Mom wants mom wants more emotes. What? Is that what we're talking about? I don't know what the please is. So, anyways, okay, build still succeeded. If I go and remove this, right? Go find that again. Right. Right, that's the only place it's configured, so we should be okay. More emotes? We can do more emotes. Absolutely, we can do more emotes. So, I need to change the startup here. It's now the app host. So if we run that, it should start and run and get us into... get the application running, but inside the dashboard. And it is still configured to work with the Visual Studio channel. If we use an API key for auth, do we maintain different API keys for different levels and combinations of roles? Yes. Yes. The API key is at the individual user level, right? So, yeah. There it is. Why did it run it? Six 33532. That's not where it's running. Right? Yeah, look at all the... Yep, look at all the messages coming out from chat. So we can dial this back now. And so that we take better advantage of how it's logging those messages so that it properly reports exactly where they're coming from. But I should have just run... Not letting... I'm not sure what the gear is supposed to do there. Hey, null ref check. You're welcome. Okay, now what? I mean, is this the right one? Yeah, there's the content, and it's from last time, and... I feel like it's not connecting properly. Oh, now we've done it. Oh, we're at a breakpoint. That's why. What the heck? How did I hit a breakpoint in a JavaScript library? And again, why are you breaking? Whatever. Is it still going to log me in? Maybe. Hey, cool. Why are we breaking in a JavaScript library? In the SignalR JavaScript library. Go away. Yeah. So if I head back over here and this Navy, that
Squirrel!
I know. Yes. Very squirrel. That's not going to save changes right because it didn't load that JavaScript properly. Because whatever this thing is, there, see, that worked. Color white. Save that. Yeah, there we go. So now if I go back over to waterfall, yeah, that's better. Ah, there we go. But why isn't it loading my content, darn it? No. Why am I paused? Ah, there we go. All right. I mean, if nothing else, it works. So, meatloaf for Squirrel Fritz, but meatloaf, the mom's meatloaf?
Hey, Mom! Can we get some meatloaf? We want it now! The meatloaf! What's she doing?
I know what she's doing. She's watching me on the big screen TV there in the family room. So, hey, Brady, hello? Yes. Yes. So, hey, Matt, good to see you. Hello. Welcome in. So, yeah, I'm dressed as a squirrel thanks to some donations to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Thanks to chat's generosity, we're dressed as a squirrel for today's stream. So, that was really easy to just get the website running in there. That's old school open telemetry stuff that we don't need anymore. But I'd really like to get the open telemetry stuff to, and this isn't the next step, but I'd really like to get it to, thank you for the follow, log and appear appropriately as those, as the appropriate activities for interacting with each of the services. So when it goes and gets messages from Mastodon, reports it properly as this is a Mastodon activity that occurred. Let's generate some traces and metrics appropriately around how long it took to get new messages from Blue Sky, so on and so forth. So, ooh, yeah, we like meatloaf. Meatloaf is wonderful. Okay. So, first things first. The biggest hurdle in getting this configured and running for other developers has been Postgres. I want to get Postgres in here, and quite frankly, we set up this whole configuration bit so that you could decide how you want to run this. And you can decide your database configuration. I think I'm okay kind of forcing people into Postgres. Because Aspire's going to wake up and say, oh, I've got these things, and start configuring and running. Yeah, let's add that in. Let's do that. So I need the package for Postgres, right? No, not that one. No. Right. Manage NuGet packages. I could have done the add Aspire package. Actually, what was that? Hang on. It was like it recognized. Oh, I hadn't seen the transitive packages display before. That's kind of nice. That's nice. That's a nice. Aspire Postgres. I want the hosting Postgres. Yeah, install that one. Sure. I'll also put this one down. Yep, there we go. All right. Back over to program. So I am going to use regions because I know this is going to grow. I know it is. I'm going to call this DB server equals no. Builder, add Postgres, and I'm going to call it DB server. No. I do need to create a password for that. Not going to add database yet. But I do want, where is it? I do want PG admin. And I do need a data volume because this is going to stick around for a while. Okay. Let's create the actual database. No. That's not right. Add database. There we go. Sure, that works. Right. So then down here for the website, with reference DB. So without doing anything else, I'll just start that. I still have to connect it to all the Postgres things that are in there, and we'll be able to show off all that stuff. So, there we go. All right. I'm keeping an eye on things over here, I promise. So let's do this. All right, so website's running. It's still connecting to the existing container that I have running on disk. I could connect it and tell it just to use that, right? So that I don't... So maybe instead of... This is good. This is a good thought exercise. I want to add Postgres in here and let it configure it and set up pgadmin. But I already have an existing container out here. So can I point it to a specific container? No. No. With name? No, there's no with name. No. There's with image, image registry, image SHA. That's image and tag, but I can't point to an existing container. Container runtime args. And change the argument and add additional arguments to pass in. Adds a bind mount to a container resource. No. I think that's referring to a port. Yeah, DGen 1, I think that I'd already been exploring and looking at that before Nick started talking about that, based on some of the discussions I'd had with the Aspire team about how they're bringing testing into Aspire, and talking to folks on the Playwright team. I think there's absolutely a way that we can start doing that. That's a couple steps down the way here. So yeah, there's samples from the team out there available. So, see, that's a major difference between what other YouTube influencers do and what I do. I actually write running code and give it to you, and then have it running in places that you can see it and interact with it, and use it as part of larger events and things. Those other folks just shoot their mouth off so that you pay attention to them and follow the clickbait. Like, don't get me wrong, works really well for them. But I actually show you and give you real stuff that you can use. And code that you can download and work with. And real things that you can reach out and touch and use. Yep. Exactly, Johan. Using Playwright to help go through that. Level 002 asks, help me understand your Blazor Tags app. I'm now implementing Aspire into it. Yes. What would the advantage be for the use case? So other developers that want to work on TagzApp will be able to get the same startup experience with OpenTelemetry coordinated and logging and doing all the tracing for all the various things, and give us better logging and tracing for the various social media providers. This is also going to make it easier for us to break off the social media provider interactions into their own API services that we can orchestrate and run and inspect and work with and manage separately away from the website, so that just the website, where right now it's a monolith, the website can be focused on just doing website things and not spend the memory and processor on managing and interacting with those other services. So breaking this up into the various components and taking advantage of that distributed architecture that Aspire helps us to coordinate and run is going to allow us to grow the application further, manage it easier, and make it easier for other developers to contribute. So I think those are 3 or 4 really good things that we can encourage and check out and learn more about using TagzApp as the vehicle to get there. So where was I? There is also add container up here, right? Name image, right? What other options? Name image tag, that's it. So I can't specify a running container to bring in there. Not terrible. Not terrible. But it means I'm going to need to restart some of this. Rebuild some of this. I'm okay with that, I guess. With data volume. So there's with data volume, with data mount, data bind mount. And also with volume down here. That adds an extra volume. Kind of confusing. I'll call this TagzApp dev. And I'll need to wire that up, right? So that the website knows how to connect in and use that connection. So, you know, Face ID doesn't work when you're wearing a squirrel costume. I don't know if that's something that that folks know about. I don't know if that's a problem that only I have. I don't know. Is that a thing? Okay. So when I'm in development, see, there's the SQLite database that we were tinkering with, and I think we're going to probably relegate that to just something for the standalone desktop application one. Windows Hello works fine using retinal scans. You can't see me. Anyways, start website. Okay. So it decides to load. Have a good one, Robert. Thank you so much for joining us. It decides to load. Oh man, I forget how we did this. To load configuration based on configuration information in app config, and that has information like where's the database, but where does it actually decide? Yeah, this should go away and move. The configuration for the modals, yeah, that should. Not a fan of that. Adding information about where the security is stored. Add. Okay. Identity, authentication, security, identity, the email sender. Where's the Postgres stuff? Right there. Oh, man. In making this so flexible, we've buried the Postgres configuration. Yikes. Okay. How do we change this? How do we force this? Can you make a program using .NET? Yes. No, Tuki. It absolutely supports other types of other stacks. Absolutely does. And there's more coming online. There's a Python integration that's coming online. It supports Node. You can absolutely integrate and bring Node into the mix. Let me show you. Oh, I'm still running. Hang on. Stop that. Right. Add. Where's the add Aspire components? I don't see it. Oh, .NET Aspire package. There it is. So it's got support to orchestrate and run Node.js. So it will run executables for you. So you can absolutely do something like builder add executable, and it will run some application, right? Give it a name. What's the command to run it? What's the directory it's running in? And it will pass into it environment variables, command line arguments that can light up, and you can that will allow you to use OpenTelemetry from inside that application. DGen 1 has an example of using Unreal Engine with Aspire. So he can start his Unreal Engine from inside the Aspire app host as well as all of his database instances and coordinate and get all of that running from one location. So, yeah, there's Docker file support coming as well. Yep. But if you have a Go application that you put inside of a Docker container, you can start that Docker container. So there's lots of options for ways to configure and run these. There's going to be more native ways coming that will allow you to hook up to those other technologies, stacks, building libraries to make it easier to consume and register as an Aspire resource. It's coming. V1, they focused in, hey, let's get .NET working. Let's get our own stack working. Let's get it working in these types of deployment scenarios. Cool. As a developer tool, works great with .NET. Lots more coming. Lots more coming. So, man, wrote this to be really, really flexible, and it's confusing as all hell. You're welcome, Toki Toki. Good luck. And the team is very open to suggestions, questions, requests for new features, particularly right now here in June 2024, when they're planning, scheduling, and deciding what are the features they're going to cover over the next 6 months for that next release as part of .NET Conf, right? .NET Conf is going to be is where we're going to have the .NET 9 release. And certainly there's going to be updates for .NET Aspire as part of .NET Conf. So, add the Postgres services is down here. But there's also bits in here where it forks and says, well, if we're doing Postgres, like here in the add security context. I could start just gutting it and say you're using Postgres. Just kind of force it at this point. Because I don't think anybody else is really looking to do other things, right? And quite frankly, because I'm using Aspire now, some of the unit tests that I was doing where I wanted to have an in-memory database, I can just force to use Postgres. Because it'll start up and manage it and take care of that for us. So I think I'm okay with that. I'm trying to identify where that glitch came from. Too many noises. So, all right. Moving on. Let's where do I want to go? I want to wire this up so it's using all the Postgres with Aspire capabilities. If we run this, we'll see the name of the connection string that's being passed in. And then we'll be able to identify that. Yeah, here we go. I've been eaten by a giant squirrel? What? No. Seek help immediately? I'll get on that. There it is. But it's running on a random, like, that feels weird, but if I go back over here and we take a look at the details, right, I should see the database being passed in. Yeah, there it is. So if I start using that and pushing stuff in there, it'll show up here. Yeah, let's... hello? I'm cosplaying as Sweet Tooth. I'm gonna make the decision to start pulling back the SQLite stuff. Yeah, all this stuff for SQLite and the in-memory provider. I'm gonna move that out. In web app, only using Postgres. Yeah. And that means also here, add Postgres services. That shouldn't be too bad right there. To just push that into using the Postgres features there. Hey, UWO Slab. You like the squirrel suit? It's roomy, and I blend in with my woodland friends outside. What do I want to be when I grow up? I aspire to be eaten by a squirrel. Gosh, are you kidding?
You keep using that word.
Yes, I do.
I do not think it means what you think it means.
Aspire means many things, but it's the framework, the tools, the technologies that we're using right now. Look at that nose. Look at that nose. Continuing here. Gosh. Oh. You don't have any experience with Aspire? Does it compete with Blazor? No. Let's talk about what Aspire is briefly. Aspire is a series of tools and libraries like this dashboard that allow you to orchestrate your application system. It's not a framework to build your application. It's a series of tools and libraries that help to orchestrate that so that I can see my console for my application. Why isn't... That's not it. This one. Right? There's my website console. I have one entry point for this, and I can see it's running my database also. It's also running my Postgres admin site. So I can actually browse around and take a look at that database server and work with it here. Right, there's the initial Postgres database. We'll get more of that loaded in and running in a little bit. But it also adds durability and open telemetry into things so that I can look at traces that are running inside my application and identify exactly what's going on inside these things. Now, some of these processes and capabilities that are running in here don't work very well. They're not calling it a stack anymore. We had a discussion this week about it, that we're not calling it a stack anymore. So there's structured logging that you can look for in here, including filtering. So, hey, just show me those errors. And I have these logging at error level, and I can change that easily. I can filter and find specific things in here. Hey, go find me things from Twitch, and it finds me all of the logs that are going on from Twitch, right? I can see metrics. This is all done for you in your development environment. And I can take a look at the metrics for my website and see exactly what it's up to, how it's behaving and interacting. And I want to get more metrics loaded in here because TagzApp is a very complex application that has these social media providers that are doing various interactions. And it's hard for us to, as developers, visualize what each one of those providers is doing. So I'd like to get additional metrics in here for those providers so I can see, isolated, here's what the Blue Sky provider is doing. Here's what the Twitch chat provider is doing, and so on and so forth. So, there are folks who say .NET Aspire is the .NET equivalent of Kubernetes, and I tell them you're only looking at 20% of what Aspire does, because Kubernetes doesn't give you all of these things. It does the orchestration. You have to add on the tools and other containers to do service discovery, to do the tracing logging. You have to load in Prometheus and Grafana and wire all that up and get all of that configuration built. There's an opinionated set of APIs and conventions here that do that all for you, and you don't have to write a line of code. I didn't write anything about logging in my application, and I've got these existing logs coming through, distributed traces that I can look at, and my logs for everything that's running inside the system right here on this dashboard. This is just the first piece of this. There's so much more that we're going to get to and learn, and generating our own entries in here so that we can orchestrate and see what's going on for those various microservices and APIs and integrations that are happening in an isolated way, so that the resource that we're filtering over here isn't web, but the resource is going to be our Blue Sky API, is going to be our Twitch chat API, and be able to isolate and zoom in on exactly that without having to build and have a whole bunch of stuff going on out there. Beer Up asks, does Aspire deployments with AZD and Bicep, does that support blue-green deployment slots? Yes, because you can configure different environments. So you can specify that push to this environment, push to that environment, and those could be two different staging slots, and have it deploy, and it will allow you then to turn them on or off. So there was a long series of discussions, and they're not calling it a stack. They're calling it a collection of tools and technologies. The word stack has been hijacked to mean different things, and there was a negative response to a response to the phrase, to the term stack, that was not what we're looking for. Using Aspire, referring to Aspire as a stack, folks were thinking that meant you must use all of the and only the Aspire tools and things because you must be in the stack. No. It's a very open collection of tools and technologies that enhance your application system. Notice, I'm not saying .NET application system. I'm not saying your application. I'm not saying your library, but it's your application system, your collection of services and applications and libraries and tools. It helps everything by giving you the ability to do logging, tracing, the service discovery, the reliability, and repeat connections into things, that the durability libraries provide. Health checks by default built into things. It's so much more. And the current thinking is that we're not going to refer to it as a stack. So what do the structured logs mean? So the structured logs, as we get more going in here, mean that you're able to filter, search through, and find what's going on there. Right? Exactly for what's been logged. Having that rich amount of filtering and looking at it, compared to just seeing what's been logged to the console and having to go and scroll through and find it yourself. It frees developers from waiting, begging for the infrastructure team for infrastructure and services. Yep, that's a great way to describe it, Manoj. Yep. It will tell Kubernetes what to do. Yes, that's what the GitHub says. The marketing discussion is ongoing. So, can you ingest the logs into Custo? You can ingest the logs into a bunch of different places. I will show you in the service defaults. Back up here. So, service defaults, there's instructions about how to enhance the service defaults, but you can set up how the instrumentation goes if it's HTTP clients, if it's gRPC. You can set up your exporters. Do you want it to go to application insights? Oh, they took the note out of here. There was a Grafana entry in there as well. There was a Grafana entry in here that showed how to, I'm sorry, Prometheus, how to push stuff into Prometheus so you can orchestrate and present it with Grafana. But there's ways to do that as well. There's instructions about how to do all that stuff from this link and get that configuration built and working over here. So they've gone quite deep on trying to make sure that this is something. There you go. You need to get the OpenTelemetry Exporter Prometheus ASP.NET Core package, and then you can use it. So I will share this link for folks that are interested in seeing more. But the other big win of using Aspire to do this is you're writing code here. You're not writing YAML tags that YAML purposely does not validate with any kind of a schema. That purposely must meet a specific number of spaces so that it can be more human readable. However, it's using a format that actually isn't very inclusive for folks that have vision issues. And the only way to validate that the YAML works is to actually run your full system. Versus, this is valid C# code. You can use any C# construct you want. I can put regions around things. I can put compile flags on this. Right? I can create all kinds of C# constructs and things if I want here. Right? I mean, heck, I can go down here and I can create a public static class, right? Database config, right? Public static, right? Builder is an iResource builder. No, builder is a iDistributed application builder. All right, iDistributed application builder. Add database. Right, and I can grab these things and bring them down here and do this. Right, this iDistributed application builder. Hey there!
Paul Oski just resubscribed for 48 months.
Hello.
Great videos.
Thank you so much. And I'll make another donation to our to our charity, our tech charity. I still have to identify. So yeah, go ahead, stop that. I need to bring that database back out of this. Okay, fine. So out. This is a Postgres database resource DB. Right, and I can do that. Why doesn't it like that? It's an iResource builder. Okay. iResource builder Postgres. Fine. iResource builder Postgres database resource. Yeah, there we go. Right. So I can do things now like builder, add database, alt, var db, and move this to another file somewhere. No, I want to move you to another file. Why won't you let me push you to another file? I will make you another file. Right. Bang. Yep, using statement. Good. And now, right, I've simplified things a little bit there. So, right, that's all stuff that I can do because this is C#. And I get a builder verifying it for me. And I get syntax highlighting from my editor. What's a stack if not a collection of tools in tech? The tech community has a definition in their minds that a stack is isolated and you cannot use things outside the stack. So we're trying to break the naming stuff here. Trust me when I tell you that there are tech folks that are engaged here that are trying to break some of that marketing mistakes. We've done a good job with breaking a bit of that. How about a heap? Yeah, that wouldn't be confusing at all. Yep, OTL, it aspires telemetry. It works with open telemetry. A buffet. So, this is all stuff that you can do. Oh, I'm out of coffee. Darn it. Rats. Okay. I agree. It is a stack. It is. The official term for it is being shifted, is what I'm being told. Yeah, right. Okay. Stack adjacent. I don't know. I think personally, I think stack was a great way to refer to it. However, there are. Thank you, Becky. Yes, let's get this squirrel more coffee. There are folks in the tech community who have a preconceived notion of what a stack is, and their definition is not what Aspire is. Right. And it's not so much looking for a name as looking for a term. Come here, friends. Let me tell you something. The marketing department that's having this discussion are the same folks that wanted to, as part of an event, not call it a keynote. We know what a keynote is. You go to a conference, you go to an event, there's a keynote speaker. You have a keynote. This is the person that is delivering the opening message. It's the key message. We want everybody to hear and learn and go forth and be inspired and feel good about the event, and everything builds on that. And they decided they didn't like that. And they wanted to rebrand it to a core note because it's the core message. It's the core drive of what we're doing here. Nobody knew what the hell they were talking about. Nobody went to the core note because it wasn't the keynote. I want to go to the keynote. I want to hear what the keynote speaker is saying. It's literally something that's been in our nomenclature for 50 plus years. And they tried to shift that, and they completely missed that that's not a thing. So, like, I understand what you're trying to refer to. I understand what you're trying to communicate. The ship has sailed. It sailed before you were born. Don't be a moron. But it's gone. You want to create key sessions for folks to go to? You want to create messages that you want everybody to hear that happen after the keynote, and you want to call those your core sessions? Go for it. But don't rebrand the thing that everybody's looking forward to going and hearing, because not even the press understood what you were talking about. So, a whole day meeting got canceled. Oh, man. Which uncancels your refinement meeting. Nice. So, let's, where am I going here? Let's start wiring up the Postgres bits over here so that we get Postgres now working with this. I think what I'm going to do in a little bit is I'm going to go refresh my beverage. I'm going to make my lunch. I'm going to make a factor meal here, and we'll enjoy that and talk more about what's going on with this. Oh, Becky. Ooh, hang on. Go back. So I'll grab a beverage. I'll make some lunch, and we'll talk a little bit more about factor. You're surprised that Microsoft hasn't expanded Teams app to host these conferences at large scale virtually? They tried. There are Teams large events that you can host. We do those internally. I got to go back to Becky's message here. Give them .NET Bot Squishmallows. Right there. Chat room, help me out. Do you know what a Squishmallow is? Give me a 1 in chat if you know what a Squishmallow is. Exactly, Thindall. And quite frankly, I don't want everybody logging into Teams to watch something that I want to be publicly accessible. And I'm going to say this again because there are people who don't understand this. If I want everybody to see a video, it's going on YouTube. That's the thing that everybody watches video on. And YouTube is on everybody's TV. Teams is not. And even if you did put Teams on people's TVs, how did they log in and interact with Teams on their TV? That facility isn't available. If you want everybody to be able to watch it on their devices everywhere, having to log into Teams to get to that is a barrier. That's not going to happen. So I see a couple of ones there in chat. You have kids, okay. So Squishmallow is a plushy stuffed animal that is in vogue right now, and there's been some discussion of, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we had a .NET bot Squishmallow? I think it's a neat idea. It takes a little bit of time to make them, though. Takes a little bit of time to make it happen. So, would buy, take my money. Yeah, the shipping is going to be is definitely an issue here. Yeah. Not many people had Fortnite, but it hosted concerts for massive artists, and that pulled in millions. And now Metallica is playing on it. Yes. It's kind of weird to log into Fortnite to watch Metallica. Like, how's that work? The foam doesn't meet most events' sustainability standard. Yeah. Yeah. There's a little bit of some of that as well. So, a .NET mascot costume to DJ in? I was showing this the other day. So that's a thing. .NET Conf 2024 CFP when? Usually at the end of July. Am I building an ASP.NET Core application or plain C#? What's a plain C# application? This is a Blazor application. So that's a thing. Clippy and the purple Blazor. I've got several Blazors now. I wore the sequin Blazor to build last year. And man, did that catch people's eyes. Yes, they are purple. Yes. I have a purple suede blazer that you see me wearing. Yep. The sequin, yep, it's purple sequins. Oh, yeah. Console or WPF? No. Duolingo is doing it. Duolingo is doing a .NET DJ. What? Generally being a nice human. Thank you. That's very kind. All right. We haven't written any code in a little bit here. Let me get back over here. Mascot DJ set. Okay, that's cool. That's very cool. Can I use the word Blazor in the title of a project that uses Blazor? Yes, you can. You can't use Blazor in the title of a copyrighted product. Right? Well, gosh, no. Because the component vendors call them their Blazor components. You can't use the title in a way that you can't use the product. Consult your lawyer. You can't use. Let me think this through. I know you can't use the product name in a way that makes it sound like you're taking ownership of it. Blazor is not yours. You can't say that. You can have a product that augments Blazor. So, hey, Darkthar, what's tags? So this is an application that I'll run and show you what it looks like. And we're getting it to work in a more cloud native way. Yeah, you can't imply that you ship Blazor. But and you can't imply that you have ownership over it or that Microsoft is shipping your product. It's confusing. Talk to your lawyer. There's name licensing documents out there that you can find and follow up on. Right, so here's TagzApp, the way that that's not TagzApp, that's the dashboard. Here's TagzApp. I don't know why it's opening a second one and on some weird, but there it is. But what TagzApp will let you do, yeah, see, and it shut down. Why is it? Oh, I know why. I know why. No, this is not the official Microsoft work outfit. So we raised money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in May, and one of the goals was to have me wear a squirrel costume as part of that. Yeah. So that's a thing. So here I'll log in with my Microsoft account. Trying to log me in. Please don't put my phone number on the screen again. Thank you. But this has a collection of messages that we can click into and show. It also creates a lower third that pops up on screen. There are moderation capabilities in here that we can take a look at and moderate and push content to the front. And it reads from several different providers. I have this wired up right now to Blue Sky, Mastodon, and Twitch. We can also wire it up to YouTube live chat, Twitter, X, just a generic queue out there to listen to. Bunch of stuff we can connect it to and listen and collect messages from. So, really great stuff that you can do with this. So we're extending and growing this. So, but I want to get it hooked up to the Postgres database that this ships with. So where was I? Down. Think, Fritz, think. So there's add Postgres services here. Let's bookmark that so we can come back to it. And there's also down here for the security context and configuring that. So there's adding the database context for that. But these are both in... Okay, so I got this. So I'm going to put a bookmark on this one also so I can come back to my bookmarks and hit both of them, right? This is where we need to make the modification. So I'm going to bring in the Aspire library for connecting to Postgres. Add, yeah, Aspire package. There we go. And I want the... Why did it clear the thing out? Aspire, Postgres. I want this one. So what's important about this is this will also give me the tracing and logging to connect into the Postgres database that we have allocated. And yeah, tracing, logging, that all goes back to and reliability that connects back to the Postgres database that we're using. No packages found, but it says there are. I don't want that one. I don't want that one. I'm already on 804. I don't want the 9.0 preview stuff. Is that an ETL tool or just for asset management? Is what an ETL tool? None of this is ETL. Let's start there. It's an ORM tool that we're using, Object Relational Mapper. So I should be able to do here, add NPG, yeah. Add Entity Framework NPG, no, where is it? Why am I, no. I feel like I'm missing something here. It's not quite that. No. We did this in Aspirify. Go find that source code. Right? Oh my gosh. So the Aspirify website uses Postgres. So the right syntax isn't there, and quite frankly, I'm blanking on it. What? No. There it is. Add NPG SQL DB context. That's it. There we go. President not sure.
President Not Zuon just resubscribed for 20 months.
No. And I want to point it to TagzApp context. Come on, I added the thing in there. You should find this. No. Because this bit here, it should do automatically when I use the same name as what we called it. There. I should probably call it like TagzApp DB. You know? But it's not picking up the syntax. Go run that. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Entity Framework Postgres. There it is. So... No. It's not in there. Right, it was down in here. No. Yeah. Remove that. No, it doesn't see that either. Like, Postgres exception, I get that. But... Now learning ASP.NET Core MVC. That's great, Baldagon. Glad to hear it. Shoot. That's really annoying. And it's hiding in a... Because I'm on services, I'm not on builder. No. It's okay. This is used in only one place. And it's being passed in the collection of services. This is only used in one place. I've got to bring the builder all the way through. It's not a bald-bearded one, but it's there. So if I chop that there, right? That's a web application builder. Right, so then this becomes builder dot services. Update all the things. Return. Sure. And I'm going to need to do... It's going to be on this one also. I think. So, where was this one called? Right there. I want this to be like that. Web application. Oh boy. Isn't it like iHost application builder will get us into the same thing? So I can say builder. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. And replace that there, and over here. And something like that. Okay. Need to do the same thing here because... Yeah, it's a different security. It's a different DB context. So, right there. This needs to pass in builder. Yes, go there. Hey, Coding with Carlos. Yep, got the squirrel suit running. All stream long. We're on YouTube and Twitch. Continue walking this up. It's just, there is so much to be configured here. There we go. All right, so back down into add TagzApp security. This is I host application builder, and then replace all of these. No. Really? What are you doing to me here, Visual Studio? I'm double. No. That's not what I copied. Keep just putting this in here. Yep. I'm just going to copy it the whole way down. Okay. So the next one was like add security or something. Right. This is in add security context. Right there. So we'll simplify that. Back to add security context. Oof. I host application builder. And here we'll say builder add Postgres. So this becomes I host application builder. I know there's more to do here, but I'm just okay. But it's this one that we now need to have our database configuration pass in, and I want to store security in a different database. Haha. So I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to return another. Let's put these on separate lines, because dang, there's a lot to this. Out another iResource builder. It's going to be another Postgres database resource, and we'll call it SecurityDB. SecurityDB equals, and I'll call this SecurityDB. Right, but now I've still got this same stupid name here that I got to pass around and manage. Here. With reference, I need to capture that. Alt var SecurityDB. And there it is. So now it's passing in that extra reference. So now over here, I can do, right, all this stuff I can simplify dramatically. Add npg db context. Right, that works. I don't need that. And I'm good with that. There's an extra paren there we can get rid of. Right. We also have to give it the name. SecurityDB. And then our configuration options. And why doesn't it like that? What do we got? Nothing. There's hang on, because options, come on, migration assembly's in there, right? No. We don't have migration assembly? Where's migration assembly? What? Let's do that. What do we have? Right? No. What did I do here? Configure settings, configure DB context options. Ugh. Why are there two different things here and they're so confusing? You know what? Maybe I don't need to do... No, because they're in a different... I want to set that migrations assembly. Give me a second here. Because we did this in the other project. No, there's no... Builder services add DB context. Back over here. And it's... Hang on, let's take a look. Options, connection string, toString. Like, no, I don't. But then the next one is right, and configure logging, configure warnings, enable errors is configured, log to. Is this where I have options? No. So where's the migrations assembly going to? And that does the... What? This is so confusing. Yeah, I was using a migration service worker process for doing that. So, right, if I just chunk that down like that, right, this I can move out to something else and have that other thing do them. The challenge is the... The challenge is I put the migrations in another project. So, oh no, they're right there. They're right there. And then there's another one for the security that has the migrations for the security bits. Okay. If I remove this for right now, right? This isn't going to work for a little bit. We're gonna break this good. Yeah, see there it wants to do the migration right there, and it doesn't know where those live yet. But man, I need to simplify this. O'Reilly with the squirrels on the various covers? Yeah, they did. They did. Let's get this running and take a look. So here it goes. Okay. Bang. So, this is the known Postgres issue, database issue that they're working to resolve. If you create a database with a volume out there, it sets a database password and then rotates it. Oops. So I'm just going to hard code. Right, var db password equals builder. It's a parameter. DB password. I can't give it a name. But I can put it in app settings and pass that in now. By saying password DB password. Because what Aspire does to keep things secure, it rotates away the password. So we need to create a parameter called DB password in app settings. So here we go. No. No. I'm typing here. My password. There we go. Okay. But that also means the volume on disk I need to nuke. So let's open up Docker Desktop. Ta-da. Volumes, and there's going to be one down here for TagzApp Dev. Delete that. Because we now need to create it with our password. It's a local database, so I don't care that you know what the password is. You can't get to it. Here we go. So it'll start it up, it'll create, it'll use that password, save that password into the database. Here we go. So everything started up. I still need to do the database migration service. Ba-bang. Database does not exist. Yes, because we didn't do the migrations. Next step. Yeah, I know. Okay. All of the configuration screen that we built for running in development mode can go away. But I need that database migration service in here. I think this is a good place to pause. Let me commit what I have at this point. Because we've got a lot. TagzApp app host. We're going to add that. We're going to add TagzApp service defaults. And we're going to commit all the other junk. Updated to latest packages. and started using Aspire. All right. So I've got that pushed up. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. So that's now available on my personal GitHub repository. So github.com C# Fritz TagzApp. This is all open source. You can see what I'm working on out here. There you go. The feature Aspire branches out here that has the things. I'm behind main. Really? Jump back over here. Git pull upstream main. Git push that. Jump back over to the other branch. Git merge main. Cool. There we go. Okay. So you can see the code that I'm currently working on. It's out here in my repository. There you go. I'm going to step away for a moment. I'm going to refresh my beverage. I'm going to make a factor meal, and we're going to talk a little bit about factor when I come back. All right. Let me run some. I'm going to run 2 minutes of Twitch ad. We'll talk. We'll enjoy a factor meal. I'll bring up and show you what it looks like. We'll talk a little bit more about where we are, where we're going with this. We'll talk a little bit more about factor as well. In give me about 5 minutes. I'll be back. Okay. So, yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. There we go. If you're watching on YouTube, you're not going to see the ads that come up. If you're watching on Twitch, this will be 2 minutes of ads from Twitch. Of course, all the revenue from that will donate. But I'll be back in just a few minutes, all right? See you then. All right, I'm back. I'm back. There it is. Hello. Right, I gotta like. Hi. How's it going there, chat room? Did you miss me? We've got ads turned off, pre-roll ads for anybody that's joining us for the next half hour or so. Got a nice beverage here. A bit of water, feeling good. So, yeah, the folks at the Factor, I like I said, I've been doing these for a couple weeks now, and they're generously sponsoring today's stream. So they send the food comes in packages that look like this. So you see, I got the jalapeno lime cheddar chicken. Pretty good stuff. I'm not the same squirrel. No. So real easy to make this. It took 2 minutes in the microwave. It's fresh, right? They don't send it frozen. There's an enjoy by. You see it down there? Enjoy by June 19th. You can't keep this stuff around because it's not frozen, right? So you don't end up with all that freezer burn nonsense and the bad taste of the vegetables and stuff that comes with your meal, right? So it ends up being pretty good. So it's wrapped in plastic. So just punch a bunch of holes in it when you go throw it in the microwave. Don't throw it, push it in the microwave. Put it gently in the microwave. And so I've got a cheddar covered chicken with jalapenos there. Come on. Get the rest of that plastic. So you saw how quick I came back, and I'm not a hungry squirrel. I am a hungry squirrel. You're nuts. So pretty good stuff, right? So cauliflower like rice over here, and then the chicken with jalapenos over here. Like I said, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, enjoying it. And yeah, been having a good time showing off and sharing just how easy and good it is to get a decent meal that's quick and tastes great. Now I didn't eat it. No. I wanted to come back and be able to talk to you fine folks. So, but I want to, where'd the browser go? I've talked a little bit about some of the things that are out there, some of the meals that are out there. Apollo says it's probably great for streamers who don't have the time to prep and cook, that's for sure. Oh, yeah. Not just for that, but you're working at an office and you want a good meal and you don't want the leftover nonsense from last night. Good hot meal that, quite frankly, tastes good. It's probably healthier for you than that sandwich or that leftover whatever it was that you have from the previous night. And Skippy from down the hall isn't going to complain that you're making and having a something that smells bad, something fish and whatever, right? That just makes the entire office smell awful. No. This stuff smells good because it is good. So, I was talking about the menu over here. Help me out, chat room. What should I order next? Like, I've had the hearty beef chili and macaroni. It's been a while since I've had the chicken Florentine. That's not a bad idea. We had the filet a little bit ago. So these ones that are gourmet plus have a little bit of an extra cost that goes with it. It's nothing wrong with that. You're getting a more premium meal. Sure, why not? I haven't had the pork shepherd's pie. Cheddar mashed potatoes. That sounds good. Garlicky carrots and roasted green beans. That sounds good to try next. This is the one that I have right now. That I'm eating right now. Roasted salmon and dill yogurt with red peppers, Italian spiced potatoes, onions. Okay. All right. Ground pork chili and poblanos. That sounds good too. Chili roasted chicken. Spiced salmon and shrimp looks good. Where was that one? Oh, yeah, that does look good right there. Yeah. So, and the chicken is tender enough that I'm cutting it with the side of my fork. Yeah, I'm not going to order the steak. That's something to order once every few weeks. I'm not in on the vegan and vegetarian meals. The white wine shrimp scampi, shrimp cavatappi. I could go for that too. Let me do this. Let me put together a poll. Which meal should I order next? But I'm going to put in that white wine shrimp. What else? Oh, you were saying about, what was the one up here? The Cajun spiced salmon. And, well, let me put the whole thing. I'll just say spiced salmon and shrimp. The pork shepherd's pie sounds good. Not sure. Head back over here. Oh, I didn't need to do that. One second. Yeah. Hey, Nosa. Vegan meals are hard to get right, Apollo. Yeah, I agree. How about this herb cream cheese salmon? That sounds good. Herb cream cheese salmon. I'll just let that poll go for 2 minutes. Let me know what you think. So, check out the poll. Let me know. And yeah, I'll add it into my order for this coming week. And yeah, I'll let you know how that next meal is live on stream. You can't go wrong with salmon. I agree. Right? It's just like a general fish, a dish that is light and has a nice taste to it that you can season so many different ways. You're right, User X. It's pretty versatile. So. If you like some of the things you see here, there's that half off coupon code. You can check it out. Check, it's a link there in chat. It just popped up in chat. So, hey, Robert Tables. What is going on here? Well, I'm dressed as a squirrel from St. Jude when we did our St. Jude food drive. Not food drive. Fundraiser. I'm talking about the food from Factor. So there we go. Ionescu doesn't know what salmon is? You don't know what salmon is? What? No. Salmon's great. You can get salmon pretty much everywhere, right? That's a thing. So. Anyways. Do I have a favorite factor? The filet was really good. The jalapeno ones I enjoy a lot. Seafood diets do have healthy benefits. Very filling. Red chili chicken thighs. I haven't had this one either. This is the one I have right now. Where's the other ones? Nope, those are the only two listed on the screen. Some good keto options. I'm not going to go nuts on the keto stuff. I know that's... Some folks really like that. I've had the honey mustard chicken. This was really good. Those spiced potatoes are nice. And the green beans as well. Yeah. But, I mean, you're cooking them in the microwave and they don't end up losing their taste or losing that snap or anything. So you're currently working from home, waiting for your dinnerly box. Oh, 48-hour delay. Oh my goodness. I just saw the poll come back, and it looks like, come on, load up. Check out the spiced salmon and shrimp. All right, I'll get that added into my next box. So, do I like spicy foods? Any particular hot sauces I reach for? No, I'm not specific on hot sauces. No, I do enjoy a good chili. I do enjoy, of course, tacos. Who doesn't like tacos? But give me the sliced jalapenos on stuff. I think folks overlook the sliced jalapenos as a nice garnish, as a nice topping for a meal. The shredded chicken taco bowl I've been mentioning is a favorite. The roasted garlic chicken was like one of the first meals that I tried. And this ground pork, tomato ragu with the fusilli, absolutely amazing, and it's gluten-free. Hey, Ed. Hello. Looks like a demo app you built. You thought I was... No. I might like Mike's Hot Honey. I've heard good things about it. Yeah. You throw hot sauce on green beans. I do use Frank's. I do like Frank's because it's kind of like the all-purpose go-to. Try putting Frank's hot sauce on pizza. Try putting the hot sauce on pizza. Thank me later, okay? So, Frank's goes with a lot of things. So, hey, look. Big thanks to our friends at Factor. They have great meals. I hope you check out the link to my coupon code just below if you want to try this out. Gives you 50% off the first box. So there's a bunch of different size boxes you can order here. Look, even if you get 6 boxes, you get a 6-pack, 6 meals in the box, it's going to cost you only $40. If you think about taking your partner out for dinner 3 nights, you're not going to go out to dinner for 3 nights for less than $40. Unless you're eating at a McDonald's, Jack in the Box, what have you. Check it out. That first box, easy to get your hands on. Try out the 50% off. And if you continue using it, you're going to get 20% off the next 4 boxes that you order. All right? Big things there. Thank you so much to the folks at Factor for sponsoring today's stream. All right. Let's head back over here. We're talking about adding Aspire into TagzApp to make it easier to manage and develop against. It is pretty cheap, right? Made by gourmet chef, hangs in the fridge. It's good for about a week, and it's comes out hot and good. I've got like 3 or 4 more bites left here. Don't mind me. I don't normally eat on stream, but this is a food sponsored stream. It's what Betty said. She put that stuff on everything. Yeah. Recipe you tried with that sauce where you cut a hot dog in half? Really? Really? Huh. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So we have to bring the database migration project over from Aspirify into TagzApp. It should be a lift and copy. It's a worker service project, and all the code for what it does is pretty much the same. Except this time, we've got two databases we want it to scaffold. Do I have any squirrel meat dishes? Now you cut that out.
What'd you do?
It got tricked into a squirrel talk. So, factors available anywhere in the lower 48 United States. So, can't get it in Alaska, can't get it in Hawaii. So, there you go. Thank you so much. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Ed. Yeah. So, all right, let's move on and bring over that database migration. So, hey, Robert Tables, have you seen Aspire? Have we shown you a little bit of what Aspire can do? I think you were here one of the times that we showed off a bit of Aspire. I think it fits into a little bit of what you and your team do. Keeping an eye on it? Cool. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate the connection there. So let's talk about right now the application. Where is it? App host. I have it set up to add the database and then go build the website. Jean Valjean.
Gene80 just resubscribed for 55 months.
Hello. That's coder 24601 to you. Thank you so much. I do love that joke. I hope you don't find it offensive, because I do enjoy that, my friend. It's great to see you. Thank you for stopping in, and I'll make another donation to a tech charity. I still have to identify it. I've been a little bit busy, and I'm still catching up and making good. We have streams where we're going to be inviting Carl Franklin. We've got another one with Richard Campbell, and we're going to invite Scott Hanselman to a stream coming up. Robert Tables, he's been in private chats that we've had with Richard Campbell and with Scott. I think you'll agree, fantastic discussions that we can have and interact with, and just have a good time talking about tech with some of these folks that are very well known in the tech space. And certainly talking to Richard and Scott about podcasting, live streaming, and learning from them is a massive benefit that anybody who's interested in starting streaming or podcasting can learn from. So, okay, let's bring over, where'd it go? Let's bring over the database migration service. I'm just going to copy. Yeah, I'm just going to copy these files into the folder. I'm doing this off screen, I know, but that's kind of how I do it. What can I tell you? TagzApp, source, and let's create another folder over here. Oh, come on. Didn't give me the little rename. TagzApp, database migration, and I'm just going to paste in all the stuff. And then we will refactor it. See what I did there. Richard is one of the most lovely humans, S tier. Totally, Becky. Totally. He's done more podcast episodes than you've had hot dinners. Wow. Spoiler alert, I am closing in on 1,000 live streams. They've done 1,900 podcasts for .NET Rocks. I'm closing in on 1,000 live streams. Now I only stream for 2 to 4 hours each time. Sometimes I do the longer streams, 8 hours or so. I have no idea how folks like Pirate Software and Primeagen go for 8 to 10 hours every day. Like, how do you get anything done? How do you live your life outside of streaming? When you start at 4 a.m. and you continue streaming right through till 5. Like, that's a 13-hour day. He takes an hour break in the middle. So it's a 12-hour day. Man. Like, that's a lot. It is their job now. When you're getting paid that much to live stream, it better be your job now. Yeah, the tablet show was on for a while. I'm one of a few guests that have been on .NET Rocks and the tablet show. I need to figure out how to get on Run as Radio. So, there's no time to even cook bacon, right? If you made as much money per stream as Pirate Software, you'd happily do it every day. Just throwing some raw numbers out there that everybody can see. He's got more than 10,000 subscribers a month. Twitch streamers, if you are not in the Partner Plus program, make $2.50 a subscriber. He is a member of the Partner Plus program, so he gets $3.50 a subscriber. That means that 10,000 plus subscribers, he's making a minimum of $350,000 a month. No, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. $35,000 a month. I'm sorry, $35,000 a month. I got an extra zero in there. But when you calculate that out over 12 months, right? So, yeah, 35,000. There we go. Plus the bit donations. You're getting a 404 on the latest articles on Aspirify. And something with the CSS didn't load properly there when I went right to the website. No, there it goes. Yes, except on the latest news, the last two articles? These two? Yeah, why are you getting an error? That's weird. That's definitely weird. Because the address they're going to... It's got a colon in it. And it's got a slash in it. This one... It's got a comma and it's got a yeah. The address, there's characters in there that should have been escaped that aren't being handled properly. Like, if we copy that link and try and navigate directly to it, yeah, see, it's got the right. The that's supposed to be a colon. That's supposed to be single quote. Yeah, that slash needs to go away because it just screws up the location. Subscribers. Those are subscribers that he's got. He's building a ferret rescue. Yeah. So, we tried to sanitize the input and do the Erlang coding for it, and it's not. It's clearly not picking that up properly. We can pivot and fix this because this is a live website that we should update. You had a user copy paste an entire PDF into a long free text field. Oh dear lord. Oh dear lord. Let's pivot and see if we can fix that. How do I want to do this? Go back over here. Fix. Sanitize slugs. No, I need to put a -B on there. There we go. And let's go take a look and we'll pivot. Pivot? And go work on fixing that. Yeah, you promise everything will be fine? Sure. I don't believe you one bit, my friend. Here's what we're going to do. Let's run the website because it connects and uses the... It connects and looks at the same database as production. And we can fix some of that. Let's take a look-see. Let's take a look-see. Those two should be very easy to reproduce. Yeah. RPI IPO. No. Oh, Oh, look. It seems our friend Maddie stopped in. I popped in to see C# Fritz implementing .NET Aspire, and he's dressed as a squirrel. I leave the country for 1 week. That's right. Yes. Yes, indeed. That's funny. All right. Diving back in here. Raspberry Pi is doing an IPO. Listed on the London Stock Exchange. Hang on. Why? Label to build more of the products. Money raised by the Pi Foundation in the IPO will support ambitions for global impact in its second decade. Check out the blog post. Yes, please. Tell me more. The idea, blah, 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 computing for everybody. I've been very much involved in spreading and shipping Raspberry Pis to different locations. Foundation will remain a significant shareholder and will continue to share the Raspberry Pi brand. Okay, so I guess they're forking off the Raspberry Pi Limited on the public market. So these are the folks that make the actual devices. Okay. Okay. Cool. Hey, more power to them. They want to be able to make and do more with the Raspberry Pi devices. I get it. They running as a nonprofit, building and developing the tiny computers without investment is hard to do. It's hard. So, I get it. All right, so there it is. So let's take a look at and do a little bit of debugging into what's going on here with these last few articles down here. Yeah, these two. So if we click in, we should get that error. Yep. Yep. So that's coming on the article page. And it's going to be down here in the on init. Right, so let's put a break in here somewhere. Yeah, see? And there's where it's navigating. So let's put a couple breaks on those, go back, navigate through again, and take a look at what the issue is. Hey, Fuel Snable. Hello. Here we go. So, right, there's the slug that it's trying to get. Wow, you're not gonna... And that single quote there is going to kill it, isn't it? Given key was not present in the dictionary, and that's where it's erroring out, right? So, okay, let's look at it. Without escaping. But the slug that was passed in. Right, that's not going to find it either. Yeah. Let's go back to the home page. So it does the redirect, right. So let's go back to the home page. And where is it generating those? Latest videos, no. Latest news article, there we go. It's like somebody put together a component for this. And it's right there. Man, I should have a method that does that, because now I got to go around to all the places and try and format that. So if I do URI escape data string, right, and just come here, replace that. Save that, let it rebuild the home page. Okay, so there it's escaped. So now the slug, yeah, still errors out. So now the question is, what's it look like? What's the name of it sitting in storage? What? Come on, go get my storage. Explorer, let's go take a look. Peek around there. Hey, Cunikin. What are you witnessing? You are watching a grown man dressed as a squirrel writing code. That's a thing. Yeah. So down here, featured. No, not featured. Articles. So this is use Aspires. Yeah, load more. So, see, it is escaped. Okay. All right. So let's let that go. Let me go back to that latest news and revert that. Right, save that. Back to the front page. right? And no, that is properly escaped. Okay. So now when I do the lookup from article page, article page, article page. So if we say if query is null, right? Because didn't find anything. Try it again. But this time, unescape. No, escape data string. Yeah. But I feel like that's going to hit the exact same thing again. What's the error? Try it again. Very professional. Very professional. Right, even if I did this, slug equals URI, escape data string slug. Right? Like, I feel like all I've done is move the thing. Let's take a look right there. See what we get. Because there should be a quick fix to go and push out an update. Let's see what we get. Come on. Running, running. Right, start up. There it goes. And where can you find info if you get an unhandled error occurred? I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm working on 2 or 3 things at once here. I'm not sure. Like, okay. So that's trying to pass in the escaped string to go fetch. So the slug it's passed is, oh, see, it's got an extra %2C in there. You see them? And that's not in the slug here. I can change the slug. Right? With any app %2C. So it's the comma here. I can change that. Right? Refresh. Come on. See, it didn't take it. Nope, there it is. Oh, refresh. I don't know why it's not showing it in there. So, okay. That should find it now. Yeah, got it. So that one works. So I did a database update, so it should refresh the search automatically for us. Let's take a look at the other one here. So aspire to greatness, right? And this one has a slash in it. So it does have all of that. It looks like escaped properly. So that is a blog post. No, it's I bet you it's audio, right? There it is. So looking at that slug, that looks like it should match. What do we got? It's got it. Okay. Yes, it will escape characters with different features on it there. But why it didn't escape the commas properly at create time, I don't know. And that's right, the second half of this. When we edit, see where it sets title here? It does it does an URL encode there. That should probably be escape data string. Yeah. Because that'll convert it into something that's valid to put on a URI. So I think that's the fix. Let's push that out. Yep. Improved handling of escape characters. Am I using ReSharper? Nope. Nope. I'll jump back over to main. Go out to the source to the website. Oh, darn. GitHub, com, C# Fritz, Aspirify Net, website. And compare and pull request. So that'll do a quick compile unit test, and then we'll merge it, and in about 10 minutes, it'll be live on the production site. I'll flush the cache on the production site, and everything should update. All of the cached pages should all update, and you should be able to see everything. And that'll wrap up right as we need to end stream here. So this is building and testing. It's not doing any Aspire things. It's literally just restoring packages, run some unit tests that are part of it. You had an issue where some spreadsheet they copied from had a non-breaking space. Oh, no. Yeah. The invisible spaces and accent characters from other Unicode character sets are a pain in the neck to track down because of how they mess with and are mishandled in our databases, with our browsers. It's, so difficult. Just frustrating to deal with. So there we go. Our build is done. We've got some test results that show that the couple of unit tests that we have in there are working properly. I should probably add some more so that we have the handling of this text all in one place. Didn't. Probably should. So that will now build, allocate the Aspire, the Azure resources appropriately that Aspire has defined, and it will properly deploy to those provisioned resources. I really like how easy this is for me as a developer to define and manage a complex application system using Azure. And we're going to do more of this with TagzApp over the next few days. And get back into adding and building out features on TagzApp. Because I want that ready for .NET Conf coming up in November. Here we go. So it's rerunning those same tests. Everything still looks good when it's merged. Fantastic. So publish the test results. There they are. And now it's going to provision the architecture for .NET, for the Aspire defined resources. So really great stuff. I'm going to let that run. Let me head back over here. I'm going to take this headpiece off.
Oh my God.
Whew. That's a little warm in there, not going to lie. It's a little bit warm. But had a ton of fun. Dressed as a squirrel today, thanks to your donations to support the kids at St. Jude. I'm back. Those couple updates will be available there on Aspirify. It's still provisioning the containers right now. But fortunately, it doesn't have to provision some of the longer running things like Redis cache. So we've been promoting and talking about Factor meals here. If you're interested, if that's something that you want to try out, you want to get healthy food made by a professional cook that gives you a chance to try some different things without breaking the bank, use my code, get 50% off your first box. It's cheaper than going out to dinner 3 nights next week. All right? Give it a try, especially if you're in the lower 48 United States. Big thanks to them for supporting today's stream. I'm going to take a look around and see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network that I can get you connected to that's doing something fun. If you're watching on YouTube, there's all kinds of great videos for you here on YouTube that I've been a part of, building and delivering, not just on my channel, but also over on the .NET channel. Check out the Learn C# with C# Fritz content over there. You're going to have a great time with some of the educational material I've built there. You know, we need to raid Code Rushed. We haven't raided him in a long time. Let me put out the raid call there. Let me pause the music here and get us ready to head out of here. There we go. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate you joining, donations and all that for me to be dressed up as a squirrel, for listening to me talking about Factor. Thank you so much. And let's get ready to say hi to our friend Code Rushed. That's Mark Miller. He's over there on his channel. I'll drop the link in chat if you're watching on YouTube and you want to join us. So have a fantastic rest of your day wherever you might be. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.